What's up, fight fans? This is Kurt DeVille with Counterpunch Boxing News, and I have some new news concerning Deontay Wilder. Deontay Wilder lives being taken in boxing. He says, I understand Fury running. This is what he had to say. He said that Fury don't want it. I don't think he ever wanted it. Wilder, 41 and 40 KOs, stated without hesitation. He says a lot of people gave him sympathy for mental illness that he suffered, but that reality is that it's something that 9 out of 10 of us have to face all the time, being that he's from another country and going through this. In America, we always feel sort of sorry for people, especially when they are not from this country. I had people even come to me and say, I wanted him to win. I'm not going to lie, because of his story. Everybody wants a winning story, says Deontay Wilder. He says he wanted to come here and fight me last December. Say he fought me and people gave him a moral victory. He want to go and run with that. I don't think he ever wanted to rematch because I have power. I look at it over and over. Even when I look at my fights, I look at it as a fan, how he got dropped, his eyes rolled, the back of his head, his neck bounced and stretched out like that. His family don't want it. His wife don't want to see it again. His brothers, his dad don't want to see it. And even said that he's not getting up this time, and I guarantee you that. Okay. Deontay Wilder, he has a lot to say about this. I think it's some key points in that. I think that he overlooks the mental illness. And that's kind of tactless in a sense, because a lot of people deal with mental issues, and that doesn't have anything to do with being from this country or next. I think that's his own personal view. Like, oh, they're just loving him because he's from somewhere else. But he is true. Americans do love, they love the idea of someone from another country versus someone here. Americans, we gravitate towards something that is unlike or not from this country. So I can get why he was saying that. But the reason itself, because of mental illness, well, there's a lot of mental cases in America that people commit suicide from all the time. Look at the soldiers of this country. It's a very touchy and sensitive subject. So it's one of those things where if you're dealing with some type of mental issue, that's real life shit. That's nothing to really joke about. That's nothing to take lightly, because it does happen. And if that's Tyson Fury and what Tyson Fury was going through, that applies. That's included in what he was going through. Okay, so I know a lot of people's different, situation is different, but him saying, well, I don't think it was that big of a deal at all. I think Deontay Wilder needs to be Tyson Fury to know what that's like. Maybe Deontay Wilder didn't really have to worry about that. Maybe the only thing that he really had to worry about was his daughter and and to getting good financial insurance and aid to his daughter, and he got that done. So that was his story. But of course, not everyone's story is like his, and vice versa. But Deontay Wilder, he does go on to say this. He says, when you have to go back and the only thing that you can promote is yourself getting up, as a fighter, you don't want to feel that again, insists Wilder. You just want to get hit in the face and see your body on the canvas. Lives are being taken from this sport. So, I can understand him running. He can run as far as he can. You know what I mean? But you got to remember, he signed the contract. You know what I mean? And when you sign the contracts, when you sign something, everybody know that the pen is a silent warrior. You're going to have to pay consequences for getting out of that. The fight will happen unless they give us some money. So Deontay Wilder, I know he mentioned this before. He's thinking that Tyson won't take the fight, whatever reason, or something would happen. Something has to happen. Like Errol Spence thought that Keith Thurman would get injured to keep from getting in the ring with him. He's having that same type of doubt as a fighter. Okay, he's saying that Tyson Fury is doing all these other things, so he won't get in the ring with him, because the last time they did, he got bounced off the canvas. He did get up, but he doesn't want to feel that again. Neither does his family. Now, here's one of those things. Me counterpunching that, listening to Deontay Wilder. You have to prove him right or wrong, because look at Tyson Fury. Tyson Fury, he got out of his fight with Otto Wallin, which was a very challenging fight due to the seriousness, the cut, and they could have stopped that rounds ago, but he did get out of that fight as a winner, which I think he won. I think he did enough to win. It was just a tough fight. It was a tougher fight than he, anticipated, sure, but I think with the obstacles with this, Braun Strowman fight, and then now he's contemplating fighting MMA, and the question you ask yourself is, you're doing all this, you're doing wrestling, then you go from wrestling to UFC, and then you're like, okay, well, you did wrestling, now you're going to UFC. Well, you can't really argue Deontay Wilder at Deontay Wilder at this point, simply because if he was focused on fighting Wilder, I think now would be the time for him, being in November. It's the 9th of November, then December, then January. He doesn't have a lot of time to train for Wilder, right? So if I'm Wilder at this point and I see this guy, okay, you did an event, sure, you got a money grabbing situation. I'm not mad at that, me personally, but then, if I'm Wilder, you're looking at it, you went from wrestling, now you're going to UFC. Okay, what the hell is really going on? Like, what are you really doing at this point? Are you really focused on me, or are you trying to throw other options or obstacles in the way of me? You see what I'm saying? So, I'm actually about to drop a video about Tyson Fury throwing knees and elbows, so stay tuned for that. But it just makes me wonder, like, okay, all this stuff that's going on, and you're fighting all these other different you're fighting in all these other avenues in sports, but I'm like, you're a boxer, right? This is a fight you've already signed. You know what I mean? So I can understand Deontay Wilder now doubting that he wants it or not, because at this point, after the Otto Wallin fight, he should have chilled, calmed down, let his eye heal, let the doctors look at his eye. But since then, he's been doing all types of shit. And I know for his mental illness, he has to stay like a jackrabbit or whatnot, or like a spring chicken, to keep himself active day to day from smaller objectives and goals and things of that nature. But then, if I'm Deontay Wilder, I'm thinking, maybe this motherfucker's running. Not saying that he's running, but it's an easy idea or conclusion to come up with. Like, maybe he is running. But I'm not sure. You guys tell me what you think about this situation. Of course, what Wilder had to say about Tyson Fury. Of course, please subscribe. And you guys been Counterpunch. Peace.